If you see red, isn't it supposed to taste like cherries? If you see blue, isn't it supposed to taste like blueberries? And if you see black, isn't it supposed to taste like black licorice? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'd like to talk to you about the effects of taste perception. From the beginning of time, when people think of taste perception, they would think that it is the way they label flavors. It allows them to use their vision to make an assumption of what something may taste like. This occurs because the average person's eyes plays tricks on them and ignores their taste buds when identifying a flavor. When conducting this experiment, 6 out of 7 participants said, "This tastes familiar." So I'm gonna say it's cherry, only because it's red. For this experiment, I prepared 3 bottles of apple juice, 1 green, 1 red, and the last one clear. Next, I asked my participants to try all 3 of the juices and identify what flavor they thought it was. I am really thankful for my friends and family for becoming my sampling pool, because without them, I wouldn't have been able to gather all of this data. I also chose these particular people specifically because of their race and gender and age. I have a Japanese group of people, Hispanic group of people, and an African American group of people. I would like to provide you with the details of the testing. So, for test number 1, I conducted it on a middle-aged Japanese woman who went to culinary school. She classifies the juices as, for the red one, she said, apple juice, it tastes familiar. And for the green, she said, it tastes the same, but maybe pineapple? Wait, no, this is apple. And for the colorless, she said, apple juice, I'm sorry, but all 3 of the juices tasted the same. So this participant actually took time to savor the moment and take time to really taste each flavor of the juices. And for test 2, I did it on a middle-aged Japanese woman. She identified the juices as follows. For the red one, I know this taste. I'm gonna say cherry. For green, is it the same? Because of the color, I'm gonna say it's melon. And for the colorless, she said pineapple. This participant mostly based her flavors off of the colors that she was seeing. For test 3, it was done on my coworker who thinks everything always tastes the same. For the red one, she said lemon water. For the green one, she also said lemon water. And for the colorless, she said there's not really much flavor. I'm gonna say water. And at the end of the test, she admitted that she drank the juices right away and didn't really get an exact taste. For test number 4, I did on my older brother who is diagnosed with autism and used to have an obsession with smelling his food before consuming it. Here are his results. For the red one, he said, it's sour, must be strawberry. For the green one, he said, lime. And for the colorless, he said apple, I could smell it. He used his sense of smell for the last drink, but for the red and green, the colors threw him off, so he wasn't able to identify them as apple juice. For test number 5, I tested a Hispanic female in her 40s whose palate is used to spicy foods. For the red one, she identified it as pomegranate, and for the green one, she said apple. And for the colorless one, she said cran apple. This participant responded without thinking of the colors because each time she would take a sip of the juices, she closed her eyes. And I think her palate was also affected because she thought most of the juices were sour when they were just apple juice. For my 6th test, it was done on a teenage male who loves to eat anything, and here were his results. For the red, he said cranberry. For the green, he said cranberry. And for the colorless one, he also said cranberry. This participant seemed to drink his juices quite quickly, so he just said the same answer for all 3 of them. And my final test was done on a Hispanic man who has a staple diet of rice, beans, and tortillas. For the red one, he said cranberry. For the green one, he said cranberry, and the last one, he also said cranberry. This participant seemed to notice that the juices were all the same flavor, but did not classify the correct flavor. After analyzing the 7 participants' results, they were fairly similar. 6 out of the 7 participants had preconceived notions that the taste was going to be a result of the color of the juice. The theory is that taste perception is based on visual perception. In some cases, the participants changed their initial responses because of the color. One of the participants admitted that she experienced short-term memory loss because she lost the first sample's taste. So she tasted all the juices, but then she completely forgot what flavor she had just tasted. So she just made up a flavor based on the color that she was saying. So in conclusion, taste perception is the experiment I conducted in order to determine the correlation between different colored juices. The purpose of this study is to validate the notion that a person's visual perception influences their taste perception. In conclusion, the hypothesis that I made in the beginning matches up with the results of this experiment. Visual perception has a higher influence rather than taste alone. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my experiment. Thank you!